Oh my god, congratulations, John Cena. You've ruined movies for me.
John Cena following in Dwayne's footsteps, just literally repeating everything he's done.
No. I would rather watch The Tooth Fairy than this.
Yeah.
We just watched Fast and Furious 9.
Yeah.
The 9th installment in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
So many F's, for fuck's sake. That's another one. Fucking rubbish.
For fucking ferociously feral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what Fast and Furious is a franchise. Like, what even is it? The first movie is literally about car racing, and then now, just with every installment, it just gets more insane. This is the most unrealistic movie I've ever seen in my life.
The first few movies in the Fast and Furious franchise, again the F's, were good. Tokyo Drift, good. Everybody loves a bit of cars. No, like
Not the Cars movie, but
no. Well,
Cars
actually,
and-
I love cars, but
Okay.
the idea of drifting and racing,
Yep.
everybody finds cool.
Well, that's what the first one did so well, and
Yeah.
made a franchise.
However, when you strap rockets to the back of a what was it, a Panero?
Yeah,
Harry
fuck, I
Panero.
don't know.
When you
Yeah.
stick rockets to the back of HP like the source Harry Panero and send it into space and submarine diver outfits, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, imagine watching the first movie and then watching this one and just compare it. Like, it's not even the same. It is the same franchise, but it's just, what even is it?
Tyrese said it best
What did you say?
when he just fucking was saying about how they're just the luckiest people
Yeah,
alive.
okay, I'm gonna get to that. We should just go through the movie and just say, so straight up though, you hated this.
I hated this movie. It is tied with Trainwreck as my least favourite movie of all time.
We're not
Both featuring John Cena.
instantly, like, he doesn't even need time to think about it, but I've seen this twice now. When I saw it last night,
You poor soul.
The first time I fucking hated it. I was like, I knew exactly what it was going to be. I knew it was going to be so unrealistic. Just like everyone, it just has to get more and more crazy and just shit. This is so unbelievable. But this literally took it to a level that I couldn't even have imagined going in. But like, it's Vin the producer, just, you know, he's just coming up with these ideas on a whiteboard somewhere.
Vin Diesel is a bald fuck who looks like a Martian, and he ruined movies, mate.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's just fucking get to the actual movie, because there's so much to talk about. Just so much that it made my brain just leak out of my fucking skull as I was watching it, and I didn't even know what I was saying.
So the movie opens in 1989, where Toretto's dad, well, actually, I have to specify, Dominic, his
Yeah.
dad is racing in like NASCAR,
Yeah.
and he dies. His car explodes and dies,
Yeah.
and then it turns out,
And we're introduced, obviously, to his brother. Well, not straight away.
not really.
But it is revealed that fucking Vin Diesel's had a brother this whole time. 9 movies in, we've never heard of him. And that's the thing with every single one of these movies. Like, the story, like, who even cares? You don't really care about anyone, because you know they're all invincible and going to survive.
Yeah.
But then
Except Paul Walker.
they retcon shit just all the time, just introduce new shit, and they're just like, oh yeah, you just have to accept this now because it's what we're doing with this movie. There's no real consistency to anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, his dad dies in the flashback.
Yeah.
And young Dominic Toretto is Roman Reigns.
Yeah, he's
Literally
Vinnie Bennett is his name.
a New Zealand actor, so shout out.
yeah. I think
Making
he's
money
like-
moves.
He's not that old. I think he's like 29.
Yeah, but literally, I was thinking this guy must have been a relative of, maybe he is somehow.
He
but
must have a relation to The Rock or something.
He
looks nothing like him there.
There he does.
He looks... Yeah.
If you
he
know-
looks nothing like Vin Diesel, is what I was going to say.
Yeah, but just throughout the whole movie, I was like, yeah, it's Roman. Even the way he talks and like his mannerisms are all the same. But anyway, yeah. So there's a flashback giving a little backstory to fucking a significant event of their lives, which they've never brought up in any other movies. And then it cuts to the present day, and it's basically Avengers Endgame, Tony Stark out in his cabin, like supposedly
Yeah.
retired, you know, like. But I mean, every Fast and Furious movie, it's always, this is the last ride,
Yeah.
but then they're still just fucking doing shit to this day. So
Vin Diesel's voice, for starters.
you can't hear what he's saying, but it's a choice though. It's a acting choice by, I mean, who has better acting credentials than Vin Diesel? I can't think of anybody.
I can't think of anyone.
I wish he would teach me how to.
What was he in? The Nanny? Was he in The Nanny?
The Nanny.
The pacifier.
The Nanny.
He was in The
Fucking
pacifier.
Fran Drescher. Yeah, but anyway, Tyrese, Luda, they all show up and like, yeah, we got another mission. Kurt Russell, I can't remember if he was in the very last one, but he was in 7. Like, I can't remember any of these movies, fucking hardly.
Yeah.
But
Can we just say Tyrese and Luda carried this movie?
yeah, they together definitely have a chemistry and the comic relief, which does elevate it and it's funny sometimes, but it's pretty much just Tyrese rambling and Ludacris just being like, yeah, shut up. Like, that's in every movie, but it does work still somehow. I
Tyrese
don't know.
speaks the most truth in this entire movie.
Yeah, which we'll get to, but anyway, so Vin's a bit apprehensive about going on this first mission, and then, you know,
What even convinces him?
because he misses the life.
But like he's adamant on not going, and then all of a sudden
He
he
just
shows
knows
up.
that
He drives on the runway because he just has been given access to drive on it.
that's the thing throughout
international
every
airports
Fast and Furious
runways.
movie. Whenever they just always have access to like military grade weaponry and vehicles whenever they need to do anything. Just somehow they can just get anything they want.
Yeah.
There's straight car drivers.
And then so the kind of the beginning of the mission that they go on, there's been a plane crash. Where did they even say where it was?
I don't know, but so Kurt Russell sent like a video transmission to them and was on the plane. Is he dead?
He must be, yeah.
I'm guessing so. I don't even.
But who knows in this franchise anymore?
Yeah, because his plane's crashed and he had something that they got to come and retrieve before somebody else does. And then, so they rock up to this island or whatever the fuck that it's on, and they're intercepted by, I'm guessing, at first it's the military.
It's definitely the military to begin with.
Of whatever this country, because I guess they're technically invading. And like everybody is just running around out in the open, Tyrese in particular, just in front of these armoured cars, and just they're opening fire on him with him right in front of him. And it's like the Matrix. They're just not connecting with a single shot. And it gets even worse. And this instantly it just told me, fuck, this movie is just going to be the weirdest, most coked out thing I've ever seen.
This movie's called F9.
Yeah, main title. But Tyrese is just he's running away from the military and he's just surrounded by them in this fucking ruin, and they're all up on this shit. Fucking everybody's got a gun pointed at him. There's like 30 people, and then he literally just grabs a gun and just kills every single one of them while getting shot at. But then, so he literally has bullet holes. He's been shot and just taken no damage.
And he even acknowledges it.
He's physically been shot multiple times and nothing happens to him. He has bullet holes in his jacket that he actually points out. And it just takes, because in every movie before this, everyone's been like, oh yeah, they're just invincible, they survive everything. But in here, it's not even, it's just, they don't even try to hide it. It's just like, yeah, they're fucking basically superheroes, I guess, they just can't die. And Tyrese, he points it out throughout the movie. He's like, what if we're actually invincible and shit? And they're all laughing at it, and then he keeps saying it because he keeps surviving shit without it. That's the thing, there's shit that happens and people don't even get hurt at all. But just because Tyrese is pointing it out, it's meant to kind of be... they think they can get away with it kind of just because he's actually pointing out how dumb it is, but it's still happening. And it is fucking dumb.
Can I just say, I don't ever want to hear a homeless person complain about sleeping on the streets. There is enough car roofs for you to sleep on, because I've seen that shit looks like a fucking mattress to land on.
Yeah, well, so we'll get to that right now. There's a car chase when they're trying to get away, and this is where John Cena first comes in, who's Vin Diesel's brother, not in real life, but
Jacob.
in the film. And so
Spelled Jakob.
Dom's Misso Letty she's on a bike and she flies through the air, and in midair John comes across and smashes her off the bike. She goes flying up like 100 feet in the air, 258 miles per hour, straight into Dom's fucking bonnet, and literally
Just looks up at him and
Yeah.
smiles.
And that's a recurring theme, people just landing on cars as fucking pillows. They'll be going full speed, full fucking aerial assault on straight into a car.
I mean, it happens right after this as well, where so there's a bridge that they have to cross to get out of the country, and the first lot, the three people, Tyrese, Ludacris, and Ramsey or whatever her name
Irrelevant.
is, they get over the bridge as it's braking, so they're driving pretty much on air.
Yeah, they're defying gravity because they're driving. This is in the trailer. You can there's part of the scene or whatever. They're driving across a bridge as it's collapsing, but then when they get to the end, they're essentially just driving.
They're driving up
vertical
Baldwin
up a
Street,
bridge.
but like with nothing actually under them.
Yeah. And then just tell them what Vin does. You've seen this in the trailer.
So Vin attaches. There's like a wire.
I don't know how it happens.
Going across. Vin attaches the wire to his tire. I'm spitting
because the bridge
rhymes.
is broken, so he's just he's
Well,
got to come up with
it's
a
not that
plan.
the bridge is broken.
But it is.
It's just that there's no bridge.
Yeah.
There's just a wire.
Yeah.
He attaches it to his tire,
While driving and
Drives-
firing up the nos.
off the cliff, and swings up, hits a ledge, does about 50 barrel rolls. You get about 50 XP per
So
barrel roll in
he
GTA
attaches the
Online.
rope remaining from the bridge to his wheel. Somehow he just flicks his fucking steering wheel around, and somehow it attaches in midair,
And then smashes into the side of a mountain
like the opposing mountain on the other side.
and survives.
At full force, he uses this rope as a grappling hook on his car and swings it across.
Not a scratch on him,
Just-
not a mark.
Smashes full force into a mountain on the other side.
And the car,
Just flips and barrel rolls perfectly normally, and there's no blood.
the car is destroyed.
Oh, sorry.
Broken windows, all smashed up. And then there's Dom and Letty.
And she's just like, well, that was new. Yeah, it was fucking new to human race ever thinking of something that fucked.
Yeah. But basically what they're after is a device that can end the world. It's called Project Ares, I think.
I wasn't even really paying attention to the actual plot.
Because I
this
feel like it was
movie.
only shown for like 2 seconds. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't actually... But basically John wants to get it. He's teamed up with this Danish...
His name was Otto.
yeah, his name was Otto, but
He's
he
this
was like
rich
a...
guy.
Yeah, I think he's like an Earl or something like that.
Earl.
Earl.
And yeah, what is it? You can just control shit.
Yeah, you can anything with code, so, you know, all your
You can
satellites
just control
and
the
stuff.
world
Yeah,
or
you can
whatever,
launch
basically,
any
by
missile you want.
having this weapon. And
It's just ridiculous.
yeah, I mean, everything about this movie is dumb. I'm just trying to. Yeah,
I've got the plot up here. What even happens? So they rendezvous.
there's so much stuff that it's all coming to me at the same time. I've got to try and focus on one thing.
This guy Stasiak shows up, and that's who they meet on the plane. And I feel like he's meant to be really important, but he's
that
shown
guy
for like
showed up for
15
5
seconds. He's
seconds,
like, I can get you what you need, but then I have to back off.
At the same time, while all this shit's happening, it's going to the flashbacks of Dom.
Toretto in prison.
Yeah, when he was younger, which it was a throwback to the first movie, him smashing that guy with the wrench or whatever, because they say in the first movie that he went to prison for doing that. So this is them actually finally showing that. So that's actually something in the franchise that, you know, they've remembered to include, I guess, down the road. And then yeah, Dom goes to prison, and when he comes out, his brother's like like the race car driver of the streets, like I guess he kind of was before that, and is enjoying not being in his shadow for once. And then so Dom reckons that his brother purposely made their fucking dad's car blow up to, like he's thinking that he killed him off on purpose, so then he can be like, he can get all the attention and shit. And then Dom basically makes him just leave the town by beating him in a race. It's like, you'd never come back again.
Yep.
Yep. I don't know. It's like,
This movie, I don't even... Yeah, like you said,
the thing is, I'm just like, yeah, this is the 9th movie in the franchise, and they're just now coming up with all this backstory for him with his brother that we've never seen or heard from.
Yeah.
But anyway, what's the next action scene? Because I just
thing
want to talk
is-
about the action scenes where shit's just so just mind-blowing.
A rocket car blows up.
Bow Wow and the boys returning from Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
That's the thing they've kind of been doing, just bringing back people from the old movies, including people who were fucking murdered on screen.
So they arrive at their little lair. It's like under the ocean, I think.
I don't think it was. I think it was
Well,
just this base.
It was like a tunnel
don't
near
know.
the ocean.
Yeah.
And they decide, listen, we have to do this. We have to split up. 2 people go to Tokyo. The 2 chicks, Letty and what's her name?
Mia. Yeah, she shows back up because, yeah, I guess it's her brother as well, so she has to be a part of it. Cool. They go to Tokyo because Han left when he died. That's all related to him somehow. And then he left a postcard when he died saying, yeah, go to Tokyo. They somehow go to the...
It's like, why?
Out of all the Tokyo, they go to the exact location where he was meaning, just they're not even knowing what's happening.
So there's like a little... On the postcard, it's Mexico, and then they're having ramen and they literally look up and there's like a Mexican flag in a building.
And they go in and that's exactly where they need to be. And it turns out Han's still alive, which they showed in the trailer. And just the reason like, I don't even know why he needed to be brought back at all, because he didn't really add anything into the movie. Like, the reason
It was because of the girl.
There's this girl whose DNA is used to activate the weapon of mass destruction or whatever. But, like, you could have just had her in the movie without bringing him back. He's been murdered in, like, 3 different movies that we've seen. And the reason for him being brought back was, Mr. Nobody, Kurt Russell, like, he staged it, basically.
Yeah, because he was going to work for him as a secret agent.
Like,
We've skipped over the most important part. Oh, no, we haven't. Not quite yet. Not quite.
What was it?
No, so they went to Tokyo, the black fellas went to Germany, and then Dominic goes to London to meet up with Helen Mirren.
Yeah, which I think was it the next part?
Yep.
Yeah.
They do a cool heist. They arrive at a mansion. Dom meets Jacob, pulls gun on each other, gets arrested because he's in an embassy, and who arrests him and saves him?
See, I don't even know how they made this happen, but yeah, when he shows up and confronts his brother, they're like, oh yeah, you're trespassing on foreign soil or whatever, we're getting you arrested. And then as he's getting taken away in this armoured vehicle with like SWAT people,
Guess who?
Cardi B.
Say, little bitch, you can't fuck with me if you wanted to.
I hate
These
Cardi
expensive.
B. Like,
These is red
This is
bottoms.
draining me. I hate Cardi B so much. Like,
Just her voice and like, she's like Spanish.
She's so annoying, but people love it for that reason. Like, she's actually just weird. She actually just is weird, and she raped men or whatever the fuck she did and got away with and just openly claimed. But whatever, she was on it for like 2 seconds, so fucking thank God she was out of there. And then I guess the next big action scene of the movie is when they're in
the truck.
They're still in London, eh?
Yeah.
And then they introduce this thing in the movie where they've got these magnets which they have in the back of their cars and they can turn on and off, and it's basically they use it in the action scenes to fly cars into them and just fuck shit up, basically.
So these magnets, this video is just us talking shit about this movie.
Yeah.
But these magnets, right? They get turned on and then everything metal attaches. So there's one scene where they turn it on and they're driving and people's phones and watches and bikes and stuff
just fly into the side of their car.
However, they're driving past cars as well.
Yeah.
And then the cars don't get attached, but then the next scene...
Unless they need to for the plot.
Yeah, the next scene, who's driving next to them? Oh, John, through a building, I might add.
Yeah, so they turn on the magnets, John Cena's car flies through a building and it flies into their van.
Yeah. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
I'm just saying.
Like, no other car did that.
When they're using these magnets and everything's fucking flying around, people are getting murdered. Like, they don't show it on screen, but the amount of shit flying around, people are getting murdered. It's like through buildings and everything.
Yeah.
But, yeah, does anything else even happen in that scene?
Not too much in that scene. Cena gets taken captive to their little base.
Oh, yeah, and Ramsey's the one driving the van that they use with the magnets and to get away.
And she's never driven before.
Even though she can't drive, and they continue to let her drive.
And that van on its own, no, it's not even a van, it's a truck.
Yeah.
That truck on its own is able to keep up with these like supercars. It's able to keep up with like a Jaguar.
With someone driving who's never driven before, and even when they get these pro races and they keep letting her drive and she's
in the back.
doing perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That was annoying. And then, so John he's fucking grappling across the whole top of the city, and Vin's able to catch up with them and they get into a fight. And so John, you're assuming, you're not assuming because you find out that he'd been working with Kurt Russell, so he's like a secret agent, spy, fucking soldier or whatever. And Vin Diesel can just beat up anybody in any movie. He is just a normal man.
And he has super strength as well.
Yeah, Vin Diesel is the strongest man alive, and he'll tell you that. But it's the same with just all these main characters. They can just beat anyone up all the time. They just fight. It doesn't matter who they are. Like, we'll get to it at the end, but fuck. It's just all these military people, and they're just getting beaten up by these people who, when you watch the first movie, again, that's all I can keep thinking of. I'm like, yeah, these people are just random people who drive cars. But they're invincible, as it keeps getting pointed out by Tyrese. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of that scene.
Yeah, and then we go into the, like, we can probably just skip to the end, like, not go into too much detail. Dom gets taken captive, Han reunites with everyone, then they find out where they are, and that's when Dom takes on, like, 50 people at once and manages to fight them all off.
They captured John in the hideout that they've been using, but since he used to work for Mr. Nobody, he knew where it was and was able to lead everybody else there. And get the little, what is it, Project Ares thing off him, and as well as the girl that they need to use it.
Yeah.
And then, as they leave, they turn on the magnets again, the leftover, like, why does it, they never kill just the main characters when they keep them alive at so many points, just pointing guns at them and just could murder them easily straight away. But then there's another getaway scene, and then for some reason as they're getting away, Vin just decides to be the hero of his story,
So-
as he has to be.
They're getting away from the people chasing them.
Yeah.
However, the people are a solid few meters away. All Dom would have to do is go through and close the door. But
He decides to have a big hero moment,
Then the
taking on
thing-
30 guys at once.
so the thing is, right, the
Like his boy
door could be
Tyrese.
open from the outside.
Mm.
What does it matter if he, like, I know it slows them down, but surely he could have closed the door and, like, held it closed or
Well,
something?
surely at
That
this
would have
point,
been-
Vin knows that they're all invincible and can't be killed in battle, and that they can just run away and nothing will happen to them. You'd think he'd know that
he
by
literally
now.
Darth Mauls himself. He falls down this huge passage with shit falling on
It's
top of
fucking
him.
hilarious. Like, Vin Diesel, he's just fully lifting people up with one hand, basically, and just throwing them off the ledge.
Yeah, he literally
just throwing
fucking
them over a
Vaders
bridge.
it.
And then he gets overrun, and in order to take them all out, he pulls down these chains. And essentially collapses the roof on him and falls down this massive hole. Survives, of course.
Goes into a flashback beforehand.
Yeah, but it's just they just show people just so many situations where they should be getting married and they just keep surviving. But at this point, I don't know why I even care, because it's just the same in every movie. And he has like this little revelation where he just thinks over his life, I guess, and all this backstory that was only introduced into this movie. And I don't know.
Oh.
What does he even learn from it? I don't know. Does it even change like anything about him?
No, not really, because we already knew that Cena, like, only did it for the dad.
But that's just, I guess he just has to see it for himself, even
Yeah.
in situations where he wasn't even present. But yeah, and then so John's about to fire up this Project Ares or whatever by connecting it to a satellite where he'll take over the world essentially. And this is what we've all been waiting for. We've all been waiting for this as fans of this franchise. We've all been talking about it. They do go to space.
They send the two black men.
It's people see this as, how could this franchise go any further with your suspension of disbelief? And they fucking go to space. They're just like, oh yeah, we got these rocket cars, we'll put on astronaut suits and we'll just fly up to the satellite, and then when we get there we'll drive through it and just drift to the International Space Station.
Oh my god. This shit was stupid.
See, when I first watched this movie, I hated it so much, but the second time, I was actually just laughing at it and thinking everything was so funny. But anyway, at the same time, that's Tyrese and Luda doing that. Everybody else is on the ground trying to get the actual ball thing that I guess they used to activate it.
So, the satellite gets uploaded, it gets to 100%, and it says completed.
But then I guess because it's destroyed, it just can't work.
What the fuck, bro?
Whatever it is, Francis Ngannou shows up.
Yeah, Francis Ngannou shows up.
When I had no idea he was in this. My brother did apparently. Apparently he knew that Francis was in the
course he
movie.
did.
But then it just pans over to Francis Ngannou, and as massive UFC fans, it was the funniest thing to see.
It was ridiculous, though, because Han took every single one of his shots.
Yeah, Han is the
Think about
strongest
who
chin.
has been knocked out by Francis Ngannou.
Everybody.
Junior Dos Santos, Stipe Miocic, Jorginho Rosenstrike, Alistair Overeem.
But not Han.
Who am I forgetting? Curtis Blades.
But they're all invincible. I keep saying that word because that's what they keep talking about in this movie. Tyrese, Tyrese is he's speaking for the audience, but it doesn't change the fact that it's just fucking stupid.
It is ridiculous.
But anyway, they fucking win.
They saved the world.
I can't even think of anything else to say. They fucking win. We all knew. Nobody dies, nothing.
Like, you can't explain the plot any more than that because you knew it was going to happen.
I'm sure there were so many more things that I could have thought of. Like, when I'm watching it, I'm like, yeah, I need to talk about this. But honestly, this movie's melted my brain. Even trying to think about it and go back over it, like, I can't even fucking... It's a mission. It's a fucking mission to do.
One thing I do have a problem with, and it was at the end, everybody's celebrating, having dinner, and then little Brian, the son, who I want to beat the fuck out of, is playing with Letty.
Yeah.
And Letty looks up at Dom and she says, I think your father's got a question to ask you. And then he goes, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
But basically he says, are you ready to say grace? And then they go out, and then Letty says, hey, okay, everyone, the little kid's going to say grace. And Dom goes, no, he can't say grace yet. When he's just asked him if he's ready to say grace.
Did he say that?
Yeah. His words were,
Wait,
are you
what?
ready to say grace? And then they go out.
See, I must have been so tuned out. I've seen it twice and I don't even fucking know.
And then he goes, we can't say grace yet because there's still an empty seat.
Yeah.
And then they show, whose car do they show?
They show fucking...
Brian's.
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker.
So they it's just their way of just showing that he's still, like, he's showing their respect and showing that he's still alive in the franchise by just
Apparently
having
there's
his car rock up.
Post credits.
Yeah, it was literally irrelevant. It was just Jason Statham and just Han walking up to him. It was like, you didn't even need to stay for it.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't. But overall, this movie fucking sucked.
It's just more of what you think of just turning up the nos every single time.
But
just
it wasn't even enjoyable.
to the extreme. I disagree, but like I hate it, but at the same time I just don't know how people come up with this shit. Like, I hate it, but
Vin Diesel comes up with this shit. The Martian looking cunt.
I hate it and think this is like the dumbest movie I've ever seen. But you can just laugh at it and laugh at the creation that you're just seeing in front of you.
Look, I look like a chubby Will Ferrell, but Vin Diesel is one of the ugliest motherfuckers I've ever
He's
seen.
just a scrotum.
Like, he looks like... what does he look like? He looks like the fucking... I'm going to pull up this photo.
Jason Voorhees with his mask off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. Oh, I don't even...
Literally, that is Vin Diesel.
That's what he looks like when he's trying to speak. Yeah, Voorhees. But yeah. This movie, my brain, honestly, I can't even handle it fucking trying to talk about this movie.
Like I said at the beginning, congratulations to John Cena. You are in my two least favourite movies
to be
of
fair,
all time.
Cena wasn't bad in this. We haven't talked
Cena
much about him, but he was actually not too bad in this.
Yeah, but he's in the movie. He's in my two... This and Trainwreck. I fell asleep during Trainwreck and woke up with my pants around my ankles. That is a true story.
Because you were raped by Amy Schumer.
I felt like it.
Yeah.
This movie was just as bad. I would rather have watched No, I wouldn't have rather watched Trainwreck.
See, I don't think...
I will never watch this movie again.
There are two ways to look at this, because the reason it's made is to be dumb, over the top, and just fucking... You're not meant to care about anything. You're just meant to watch it and like be entertained by it. Or you look at it as an actual film, but it doesn't even try to be that. But you can still, I guess, just rip on it.
The acting in this movie is horrible. Vin Diesel doesn't speak properly. He speaks in one-liners. Letty speaks in angry. Like I said, the only good people in this movie that held it together were Tyrese and Luda.
Yeah.
Ramsey, I just couldn't give less of a fuck about you. Mia, what's her name? Mia?
Yeah, just brought in.
I don't care. Like, your face looks plastic and you bore the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
John, you did good.
I don't think John has the charisma of Dwayne, but then I hate Dwayne now. Dwayne was good in Fast Five, the fifth movie. Because
he's a fucking superhuman.
When he was an actual actor and
when he fucking holds the helicopter with the chain.
When he actually played a character, and then everyone after that, he was just a rock in a movie, and it just
obviously they've set it up for Fast 10.
They could make just unlimited amounts of these, and they'll just probably...
Fast 10 has to be the final one.
How do you...
Imagine they fucking go up to 45 movies and call it F45.
The only way they can end this and pay me back for having sat through all these movies...
If Dom dies.
Yeah.
He has to die. And little Brian has to die as well. Fuck little Brian. He was the worst character in the movie. Takes after his father. Overall, this movie sucked. What rating are you giving it on our scale?
Oh...
I know what I'm
See,
giving
I
this
know
movie.
you're gonna give it a hunker fuck.
I'm giving it hunker fuck.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to grade this as like an actual movie or just like a fucking or the action.
This movie either gets GOAT or it gets hunker fuck.
No, it doesn't get good.
It gets the greatest movie of all time. No, this movie fucking sucks.
Fuck. See, that's the thing, because I watched it from like the two perspectives I talked about. The first one where I was actually looking at it as a film, and I hated it. But then today when I was watching it just as this fucking as a Fast and Furious movie, I found it entertaining, but just how fucking
The thing
retarded
is,
it is.
I don't look at this movie as like, I don't enjoy Fast and Furious movies unless it's like the first few. So I look at this as a film, and it fucking sucks.
I haven't enjoyed the last few, but this one was so over the top that shit actually stood out to me and was.
It was more of a comedy than an action movie.
Yeah, but it was way more memorable, I thought, like than the other movies, just because of how dumb it was. I think. See, obviously it's not actually good, but just because. I kind of want to put it at hunker fuck, but I'm gonna give it a shitty, just because like I don't know this time. If I reviewed it yesterday, I probably would have said hunker fuck. I think it is a hunker fuck as a film, but just the insanity that it displayed. I don't know. I was a good time the second time. I fucking laughed at it.
Yeah, worst movie of all time.
Especially watching it with you, I found it just so fucking funny. I was like, wait for this. I was I don't know.
I could not recommend this movie less to anyone. Do not go see it. Save yourself the time. Just watch the other ones before this. Don't waste your money. Illegally download it.
Watch the first one.
Yeah, watch the first few. Watch Tokyo Drift. That's fun shit. This shit ridiculous. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I've got nothing else to say about this movie.
Neither.
If you've seen the movie, let us know what you thought. How shit was it to you? If you enjoyed it, what's wrong with you? Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Vin Diesel.
Penis head Vin Diesel.
See you again.